Hi guys, I'm glad you're here. Hope you're having a good day. I'm trying to get my tablet to work. Facebook would not, it was showing that I'd been live 6 days ago, which was last week, but it wasn't showing the one I was currently doing. So let's see if we can get this to work. But I think I got everything else going. Let's see if we've got anybody on YouTube right now. Hi Margaret, you're back. Yes, you are. Hi Anne. Glad you guys are here. Let's see if I can get my comments to come up on Facebook. I'm not kidding. I don't understand what is going on with my tablet. It's like it has a mind of its own. It might be time to get a new one. For some reason, it's showing that my video ended, but it was last week, so it's not wanting to show the one that's going on right now. You know what? I'm gonna keep talking to you guys. You're still gonna see me, but I've need to check something. I want to make sure I am live. So I'm gonna check through my oh wait, wrong thing, Christy. Yeah, this time the software that I use seems to be working just fine. It's now my tablet acting up. It's like there's always got to be something. I am live. Okay, good. It is my stupid tablet. So please comment on Facebook. I will try my best to get this to work. I have a funny feeling it's not going to. But at least now I can see your comments on YouTube. So you guys are good to go. So if you start coming on Facebook, I will come back and look at your comments later after the video's over. That's weird. It is just not refreshing. This is crazy. It's showing everything that I did last week, but nothing that I've done. All the stuff I posted this week is not showing. Here, let me try this. Well, how are you guys doing? I know if those of you on YouTube, I can be talking to you. How's the weather going? We've had a beautiful day today. It's a little cooler than what it has been, but it still got up to like 71, I think. Beautiful, beautiful day. Yeah, the Facebook app is not working on my tablet. So if you're watching on Facebook, guys, you can go to my YouTube channel. There's actually a link. If you look at the video description, it'll say see more on it. You can click on see more, and then you'll find the link to my YouTube channel. When you go there, you'll see, I think it's probably going to be at the top of the page that I'm live, and you can click on that video, and that way you can comment. But if you're fine with just watching on Facebook and not commenting, that's fine. But if you've got questions and things like that, you might want to go over on YouTube because I cannot get this to work. That is so frustrating. Okay. Everything wants to shut down on me. Let's see. Was it 78 degrees where you're at, Margaret? Hot in Arizona, and oh, you haven't hit 100 yet. That's good. Here in Indiana, we're glad we haven't hit 90 yet. Okay, I'm thinking in Arizona, you guys may not get quite as humid as we do. Right now, we're not humid at all. It's wonderful. I hate the humidity. Okay, well, I will go ahead and get going. I'm glad I'm definitely at least live on Facebook. I'm just not going to be able to see your comments. So I will bring that up every once in a while because I know how people come on later. So if you've just come on Facebook, because my Facebook app is not working, I can't see any of your comments. So if you want to comment, click on that YouTube channel link in the video description, and then you can find my live there on YouTube. Okay, well, I have been looking forward to this class. The last couple, let's see, what I did the crafting one. I liked doing that. I had a lot of fun doing it, but I have to admit, flowers are still my favorite. I love doing the flowers, and especially when it's got like a watercolor effect. And I'm using the inked and tiled bundle that's in the catalog. It's actually part of the, let me get this, Inked Botanicals suite. I think I'm actually I am using everything in the suite. So you'll get to see the three things. It's the stamp set with the dies, the DSP, which is designer series paper, and the Lost Lagoon ribbon that's in it. Let's see, I've got some more. Is it Booth Lake Landing? First time, 70 degrees in Wisconsin. That's not too bad. Now, what's your first name? That way I'll try to remember it throughout the video. Okay. I think, Yeah, I love the set too, Anna. It's really pretty. So I will show you that here in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and tell you a couple little things. I always, because I never know if somebody's new to Stampin' Up. If you haven't heard about our paper pumpkin, there's a really neat one coming. It's got a set of dies that you can buy. It is a $6 set. It's only got like three. Those they actually show all three dies right there. So it's a really little set, but it will die cut some of the images in the stamp set, the exclusive stamp set that comes in the paper pumpkin kit. All the stamp sets in the paper pumpkin kit only show up in the paper pumpkin kit. They never come in to a catalog, so they're totally exclusive. You also get a little ink pad or stamping spots and things like that. So it is, I can't remember the price now, but it's a monthly subscription, and you have to subscribe by June 10th if you want to get this one. And whenever you subscribe, you can always cancel anytime. You can also suspend a subscription, but you always have to do it before the 10th of the month or by the 10th of the month. So there's a link to the subscription to subscribe down in the video description. Okay, now, sneak peek. They told us this Tuesday. We're having our designer series paper sale. Now, I don't think we had one last year. I may be wrong. It seems like we usually have one every year, and I don't think we had one last year, but they brought it back this year. It's 15% off almost all of the DSP in the catalog. It's actually on pages 129 through 132. It's actually all the regular and specialty DSP, except for the ones that are the 6x6 that you can get in the whole color collection. Like the end colors have a set for each end color, and each collection, like Regals and Brights, have their own pad of paper. And then the vellums and the window sheets that are in there. But you can just look in the catalog. Like I said, it's on page 129 to 132. 15% is a pretty good deal. So I'm going to show you real quick. This is what the flyer looks like. So it's probably a little hard to tell, but there's all of those are going to be 15% off starting June 1st, and so are these. So if you want this flyer, I've got a link down in the video description. I think I said that, showed that here in this picture here. So just click on the DSP flyer link, and you can print this off. That way you know, can start planning now, because you've got just add a week. That's right. June 1st is next Thursday. Oh, I can't believe May's over. I want to make sure I told you about that, because I didn't want you to start buying designer series paper this last week of May and then find out you could have saved 15%. I don't want you to miss out on that. So every time I switch screens, just so you know, on YouTube, I don't see your, let's see, 2450, I think. Let's see. Oh, Sue. Okay, I'll remember that. I'm trying to think what. Oh, paper pumpkin. That's when I start switching to different pictures, I lose my little screen with all the comments on Facebook right now. So, Margaret, I had to think for a minute what the 2450 was. That sounds right. I think that is paper pumpkin. I think it's 2450 a month. Okay, I'm going to hurry up, talk about the class real quick. It's, like I said, my inked and tiled card class at home. I do these just about every week. There've been a couple times I've had to skip because something has come up, but normally my weekly lives, this is what I'll be doing, different classes. If you place a $40 order, and this is for everybody that lives in the United States, because per Stampin' Up rules, you have to live in the United States to be able to order from me. If you place a $40 order before shipping and tax, make sure you look at the right totals before shipping and tax, you will get the card kits to make 2 each of the 3 cards I'm going to make here in just a few minutes. If you bump it up to a $55 order before shipping and tax, you'll also get a full pack of the Iridescent Pastel Gems that I'm using on the cards. I won't be, those aren't included in the card kits. You have to bump it up to $55 to get those embellishments. Okay, so, and you use that host code you see there, and when I change screens, you'll see the host code down in the bottom left corner also. But you have until next Wednesday, May 31st, to place your order to be able to get the card kits. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start showing you some things. When I have a new designer series pack, and now I can put my comments up on YouTube and I won't lose you anymore. There we go. Now I've got those comments. Boy, it's frustrating. I keep looking at my tablet to see my Facebook comments. And it's driving me crazy. Okay, here is the pack of paper that comes in this suite. This is the Inked Botanicals DSP. And the images are so here. You know what? I could actually get this to come a little closer. I'll have to put it back out again later, but I want you to be able to see the paper a little bit better. And I am noticing this picture's not the best. You never know with lives. Things in the air can affect it. Isn't that pretty? I love the colors in this. I think, yeah, this is one of the ones I'm using on the cards. And then this is the other side. And this one. Because I know sometimes it's hard to tell what they, especially in the catalog, what the designs look like. And I did say this, I think last week, but if you go to my online store, and there's a link to that in the video description too, you can look up a DSP, just type in the search box which one you want to see, and there are pictures of each design there, and you can see the full 12 by 12 or 6 by 6 piece in those pictures, which is nice. But I still like to, when we've got brand new paper and I haven't shown it before, I like to show it to you. Oh, isn't it? I love these colors. Actually, I go like that. Let's see all the colors. I'm actually using all the colors in the ink pads. It's Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Crushed Curry, and Lost Lagoon. And it has a very vanilla and white in it too, so you can use whichever one of those you want. Like this one has probably got, I don't see any vanilla in this one, but there's some white flecks in it. There we go. Then we've got this one. And this one. Oh, I forgot how many. There are 12 designs, and you get 4 of each, which is really nice. And then we've got this one. The colors are really neat. I love the designs. I love the watercolor look. It's a really pretty suite. And then I'm also going to be using the Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon. I'll show you that when I start doing the card kits. Now, just to show you what you get for that $40, with your $40 order, I mean, I will mail the card kits to you. And I do the die cutting and the embossing for you. It just so happens this time around there's no die cutting or embossing, but there are, I'm using the punches because this bundle uses punches instead of dies. So I'll do anything that's not stamped. I will, well, I take that back. With the punch, I will punch out everything, even if it needs to be stamped on, because you can stamp the greetings that we're going to be putting on one of the cards with no problem. So I do punch those out for you. So every time I use those punches, they're punched out for you in your kits. Just in case you don't have that, you can always substitute with another stamp set. And then if you bump it up to the $55 order, you get the, what are these? Iridescent Pastel Gems. So here, I can open this. Well, I won't open it up. You can kind of tell there are 2 different sizes. There's the little ones and the big ones. This is Gold, Balmy Blue, and Calypso Coral. Now, I'm not using any Balmy Blue, but I am using Lost Lagoon. And when you put this on the Lost Lagoon, it actually looks like Lost Lagoon. So I knew these colors were perfect with that paper. So that's why I picked out these embellishments. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to get that screen out again because it's a little too close. Let me bring in one of the card kits, see if we can. Oh, good. That should work. Don't want it too close because then it'll start cutting off everything. So this is everything that comes in the first pack except you get double. So, oh yeah, here is the ribbon I wanted to show you. So there is a Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon. It's really neat. It's kind of got a linen kind of feel to it, look to it too. I really like this ribbon a lot. So I'll put that over to the side. And you will, this is the only card I'm using very vanilla. The others I'll be using basic white. So you do get the envelopes with the card kits too. So what I'm going to do, I put all of the little, oh, I didn't show you the bundle. Shame on me. Here is the beautiful bundle. Isn't that gorgeous? And I'm actually using every single image in the stamp set on the cards. Now, I'm not using all the greetings since we only have 3 cards, but I am using happy birthday, hello friend, and thank you. And you can use, like if you want them to all be birthday cards, that's fine because these 3 right here actually are about the same size. So they'll fit in all the little pieces I have cut out in the card kits. And then there's also, with the bundle, a punch, 2 punches that come with it. I think this is the first time, I know this is the first time, they've done a kit with 2 punches. I can't remember them ever doing that before. So this one's a little more expensive of a bundle. I think it's like $60.25, I think, but that's because you get 2 punches. But, and I'll show you this here with the first card, I like how these kind of interlocked. You can almost make like little quilt type things. And you know why it's called, has the word tiled in it, because these kind of look like tiles that you would see. So it's a really neat bundle. So now I will get back to making the cards. So I think I'm going to keep those in the envelope for just a minute. Put this aside. This is a piece of Pool Party, 4 by 5 1/4. Let me grab my grid paper here. There we go. And I'm going to use, this is a really neat stamp where you can actually stamp this over your images if you want to get, a roughed look. What am I trying to think? I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of, but it just gets a really neat effect, a worn look, like it's, worn look. That's what I'm thinking of. So, but this time I'm going to make it as a background. So I ended up not doing any embossing on these. I almost embossed at least 2 of the cards in the class. I love embossing. But since we have all these really neat texture ones, I decided I'm going to just stamp and show you how you can make backgrounds. And it kind of gives you a textured look. So if you don't own a die cutting machine, this is a bundle to get. And these card kits, you don't need to have an a die cutting machine. So I'm not going to just do it right here in the middle because it doesn't quite go all the way across, and I don't want that look. So I'm going to kind of stamp it here. I'm going to keep it straight. This one I think I am going to go more like that. Maybe do one a little longer here. I'm just making them all a little different. Let's do one here. Now, a lot of this is going to be covered up, but it is, and see, those are even on the same line there. Because I will be putting these pieces over a lot of it, but you're still going to see some stuff here. And I think I want to put a little bit right there. So there, that kind of gives a neat little effect. Almost makes it look like it is embossed. And by the way, in case you didn't know, this was Pool Party ink on Pool Party cardstock. I do that a lot. So if you just want a faint look, or actually Versamark is actually a fainter look, but I like doing the ink, the same color ink on the cardstock, and it looks really cool. So I've got this. I'm going to go ahead and bring these guys in. Now what I did, I picked 4 different designer series paper designs and did one each of the, with the punches, okay? So on this side, I'm going to start putting some right here. I'm going to kind of lay them down the way I have them. I'm leaving a little bit of a space. At first, I was going to put them all over here, and I liked it better. When I did this, I'm going to have a row here and a row over here. Let's see. Now I need the yellow one here. So see how they interlocked? Now, I could also have them go right up against each other. But I kind of liked having a little bit of Pool Party in between. And then we've got this one, like so. And then I try to make it so they weren't right next to each other, the designs, that is. So this is, I think you can kind of tell where I'm going with this, and this one's going to go here. So I'm going to grab my adhesive and start putting these together. But you can have a lot of fun with these punches. Oh, thanks, Anne. So I'm going to put this right here. And for those of you, while I'm putting these together, for those of you on Facebook, you're going to hear me say this a couple times. Sorry, guys, but I want to make sure the people that are on Facebook, I cannot see your comments right now. My tablet decided to act up on me. It's only showing posts that happened last week. I'm not seeing anything I posted in the last week, and it won't let me see the live. So I can't see your comments. But I will come back and read every single one of them, I promise, and respond to you. But if you want to comment and have me see them during the live, just click on that YouTube channel link in the video description, and you can find my live there on YouTube. That way, because those I can see. I've got those up on my computer. Oh, come on. You know what I need to do? I don't know why I was doing that. I love this for stamping on, but when you're using our seal, the seal works so much better when you don't have the, have something cushiony underneath. Okay, so now that I've got that on there, I'm going to kind of move these over. It's a little easier to do it when they're not laying there. Come on. Oh, I just switched those, didn't I? There we go. So now put this one down. Oh, I'm back. Oh, no, I'm doing it right. And this one I think I'm going to go this way because I kind of like how those are. Actually, I kind of put those at the side, but it really doesn't matter. It looks kind of cool that way. But I can definitely, my quilters out there will probably love this punch set. Oops, because you can definitely make quilt-like cards if you wanted to, for sure. Okay, put that on there. I'm almost done. I opted, because you can see how some of these have the designs that are in the stamp set, but with this particular card, I liked doing the one that had more of the darker colors in it, because I just thought it looked a lot better than having say like that. Now, you can definitely turn them over if you get the kits and do it that way, but I really liked having the darker sides. I will be using the other sides on the other cards for sure, but because I really like the designs. But this one, this card, I liked it better this way. And that one will go there. And that's what you're going to want it to look like if you make this later. And now I'll get some adhesive on here because, oh, wait a minute, I am putting ribbon around this. I don't want to do that yet. Get my trusty silicone mat out here so I don't get adhesive on my workspace. Grab my ribbon. Got ahead of myself. This is a 6-inch piece. I don't know why I just turned that over because it's the same on each side. It's just habit. I'm used to turning something over when I'm going to put adhesive on it. And then the 6-inch piece is the one I'm going to wrap right around close to the middle. Like so. Kind of get it straight. There we go. Now I can put it on my card base, but I better fold that puppy first. Here's Calypso Coral, 5.5 by 8.5. If anybody in my card club is watching, I've been getting those card kits ready. Those will get mailed out here soon. So I'm thinking of have a bunch of cardstock sizes in my head because I've been cutting cardstock all day. So there's the card base. And this will just go right here. I really love the colors in this paper. That made it fun to make these cards. I'm going to put this here. Okay, now I'm going to do some stamping here on this. This is a 2 by, can't remember, oh, I thought so, 2 inches by 4.25 inches. A very vanilla. I'm going to bring this guy in. Now, it seems like I've been doing this a lot lately. I did on that Softly Sketched class a couple weeks ago. I'm going to use Calypso Coral ink and a sponge dauber. Now, you could use markers on this if you want. I didn't even think to try that this time. With the Softly Sketched one I did, I found the marker kind of left streaks, and I didn't like that look. I think on these, because there's so much texture on them, I think the markers will work just fine. Actually, I think I've seen somebody use it with markers, and it looked gorgeous. But I just grabbed my sponge daubers. I think this must be my favorite way of doing it because I didn't even think about the markers. So I've got Lost Lagoon. This is kind of a greenish blue, so it looks really good as the green for my leaves and stem. So here's my sponge dauber here. And you do usually, almost probably 99.9% of the time, you want to start with the lighter color when you do this, and then go to the darker color. It's a lot easier. If I were to get that Calypso Coral on some of the stems, the darker Lost Lagoon will cover that up. So that's that's why you start with the lighter color and then go to the darker. Now this just fits. If I angle it a little bit, I think. Yes, there we go. When I go straight up and down, it fits, but barely. If I angle a little bit, it fits really good. So hold this down. Always hold it down for a few seconds. And that's the other thing with markers. I think they dry faster. When I do this, so I always have to huff on them before I use them, or stamp on it. If I use the sponge daubers, the ink stays wet a lot longer, so I don't have to do that. So there, I've got that. I'm going to go ahead and grab Hello Friend with Calypso Coral, and I'm going to put that here in the bottom left corner. That's another reason to do that little angle. That way I could get the greeting in there. So that is ready to go. might as well get the inside done. So this is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Very Vanilla. And I decided to put these flowers in there too. So I'll get this inked up again. It's still got ink on it, but not enough. It'd be way too light, so I need to add some more ink again. Now, if you want it to be a lighter version, you definitely could. It'd be the stamp off effect. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm kind of going to do a little bit of a partial, kind of angle it a little bit because I still want to have room to do a greeting. There we go. So there's the inside of the card. Do you believe? Yep, that is all the stamping we're going to do on this one. These cards come together really fast, especially when it's punching. I'm not having to die cut any images out. You definitely could fussy cut these out if you wanted to, but I didn't want to do that in case you hated fussy cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. I'm going to grab a piece of crushed curry. This is 2 1/4 by 4 1/2. And this will go on the center of it. And I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. And if you watched my videos before, I've used dimensionals almost on every single card. But I always try to make it so I only pop up one layer. If I have two layers, a lot of times I think it's going to be too thick to mail. So that's why I usually stick with just one. Oh, here it is. And I like to use my Take Your Pick tool where I can scoop these papers off. But you can definitely, you don't have to have the Take Your Pick tool to do that, of course. Oh, there we go. And then this will just go right here in the center. So I am covering those punched design DSP pieces, but just a little bit. I just thought that really was a neat border right there in the middle. Now, if you really wanted to, you could always punch a couple little ones here in the middle, but I was fine having just the pool party on there. But so you may not see a lot of those stripes I did, but it just gives it just enough to really look neat. It looks a lot better than using just a plain piece of the pool party. Believe me, I tried both ways. I liked this a lot better. Now I'm going to grab another piece of that Lost Lagoon ribbon. It's a 4-inch piece. Now, a lot of times I will put thread that underneath and then tie it on, but I couldn't get it to angle the way I wanted to. It kept going this way, and I wanted to go this way. So when I have that problem, I just take the ribbon, tie it in a single knot. There's no need to do a double knot. My double knots always look awful, so I think the single knots look better anyway. So I'm going to grab my mini glue dots. Put the knotted part right on the glue dot. And part of it's I'm going to attach to the ribbon. Part of it I'm going to attach to the cardstock just a little bit. I still want it to look like it's tied to the ribbon. But if I put it just a little bit on the cardstock, it'll stay on a lot better. Now I'm going to grab my scissors because that's a little too long. But this way, it's going the direction I want it to. There we go. And now we've got, oh, let me go ahead and attach the inside before I forget. And this will go right here. I just love that image right there. That's my favorite image in the whole stamp set. Now I'm going to grab those Iridescent Pastel Gems. I forgot to get these out. I'm going to use one of my packs. Don't want to use up any of the full ones I have because I want to be able to give those away to you guys. I'm going to use the Calypso Coral ones this time. I'm going to put a big one right here in this corner. And then a couple little ones. And I'll put one down here. And another little one about right here. There we go. You can also always add more if you want to. Oh, thanks, Anne. This is probably my favorite. Well, it's between the first one and the last one. I think this one might be my favorite of the three I made. So I hope you like that one. Okay, so now I'm going to get some stuff together here. Ready for the second card. I'm so glad I started doing these classes because it really makes me think when I have to do 3 with one stamp set. How many of you, and I am so guilty of this, have bought a stamp set and then you end up never using it? I know I have had that happen so many times, and with these classes, it's been really nice because I've been using all my stamp sets. Love that. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here, and then I also come up with more than, because if you just use a stamp set once too, I like being able to use it more than once, so this is also making me be able to do that. Okay. Oh, hi, Carol from Canada. Welcome. Oh, thanks, Margaret. I'm glad you like that card. Okay, this one is a little different, but I wanted to use the little flower stamp that's in the set. So this is what comes in the kit, but you get double. Let's see, what do I want to do first? Okay, I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to grab my Lost Lagoon piece. This is a 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece. And there is this little stamp right here. It looks like it's not finished, but that gives you the look, that a worn look that the whole stamp set has. Grab my Lost Lagoon. And this is another one that's really good for a background. And the rule of thumb is just like with the embellishments, with this card, I always say to use an odd number and then kind of make a triangle. You definitely don't have to. You can make it in a straight line and things. I've done that before too, but a lot of times I'll do a triangle. That's what you do when you have a little stamp and you want to make a background. So this is once again Lost Lagoon on Lost Lagoon. Same colors. Well, I guess the last one was Pool Party. But I'm making little triangles, and it kind of makes it so they don't look like they're in such a straight line. Now, I kind of did that there, didn't mean to, but I'll kind of get these to, because you can actually do a straight line if you're, by accident. I think I'm starting to do that now. Oh, well, it's looking to be fine. There's something about that triangle, you can't tell that's in a straight line. So if you start to do that, you're fine. I don't need to do the whole piece because I'm going to be putting some DSP over here. I always go a little farther than what I think I need to because I don't want, like, say the DSP came here, stopped here, and then I had this big space right here. It's a little hard to go back and stamp that in. So I always go a little farther than I need to. So I've got that done. Now I've got a piece of that inked Botanicals. I can never remember that name. This is a 1 1/2 by 4-inch piece. Sorry about that. And this is going to go right over here. So let me grab my adhesive again. Get my paper here that way. Oh, there it is. Always like to have at least some grid paper or the silicone mat under my work. I'd rather have, if I go off, I'd rather have it on here than on here. I'm going to put this right here on the left side. Like so. Make sure I'm still in the frame good. Sometimes I get to work and I forget to look at that. So we've got that. Now I almost just did that. I thought, no, it needs a little more. So I grabbed another piece of the DSP. This is 3/4 inch by 4 inch. And you can use this side too if you wanted to. So I'll show you what that looks like. So you could do it like that with 2 different images, but I liked it better having one that had a bunch of images like this one here. I thought it was going to just look a little too busy. So I'm using one that just got some designs, but they're muted. I'm just putting this right up against it, the first one. There we go. So now I've got 2 different designs on here. Always love putting more than one design on a card. Okay, now I'm going to grab this little guy. I used the larger of the 2 punches in the kit. Did one with this design and then just a white one. When I go to stamp my greeting, I want the points to be on the top and the bottom and the sides. Okay. I'm going to grab my crushed curry. This one's going to be a thank you card. So I'm going to grab it. I'm going to stamp this near the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. And I didn't like all of that white there. You can definitely leave it that way because I went back and forth. wasn't sure what I was going to do, and I thought, well, let's try this. So I'm going to take Lost Lagoon. Actually, there's probably plenty of ink in this because I just want a little bit. I'm going to lightly go around this, and this kind of roughs it, gives it that distressed look. There we go. So I've got a little bit of that. That just gives it a little more contrast, so it's not such a bright white. And now I'll put some adhesive on the back of this. Well, there we go. Get too much stuff on my area. Oop, I just did what I didn't want to do there. I got it off. Okay, now this one, I'm kind of laying it down different. The points are kind of going to the corners because I want to be able to just see a little bit of it underneath. So it kind of makes it like a star. So that's another way you can do these. So I'll put that to the side. So I'm not quite ready for that. Here is a piece of basic white that is 4 by 2 3/4. Get this back over here. And this is the stamp I'm using. This is another neat one. I'm going to be using crushed curry. I want to have crushed curry flowers this time. And I'm going to ink it up with my daubers again, sponge daubers. So I'm only doing the part that's the flowers. Oh, I don't know why I closed the Lost Lagoon. I still need that. Bring that back in. And then put it right here. There we go. And this time it's going to be like a field of flowers here at the bottom. So I'm going to put this one here. And then I'm going to kind of go down here at the bottom and do a couple more so they're a little lighter. That did not come out very good. You know what? I think my ink pad, there's a darker area. I didn't think it looked like I had much yellow on there. Oh, there, that's much better. This will show up better. You know what? I'm going to turn that over because that doesn't look good. I love having two sides to paper. Okay, now let's see if this shows up better. Oh, much better. So yeah, that looks a lot better. And I'm just going to do a couple stamped off because it's kind of like flowers back in the background. Okay. So this is going to take a little while. It is the small one, so it won't take me too long. I'll have to ink this up about 4 or 5 times, I think. So if you have any questions, just let me know. There we go. Do a few more there in the background. See, now I'm getting a rhythm, so it's not taking as long. I have to admit, I wouldn't have thought to use Lost Lagoon for my greenery, but doesn't that look pretty good? I really like how that looks. Like there's one of the end colors I wouldn't have thought to use with for my leaves, and that'd be that wild wheat. But it looks really good. I've used that quite a few times for my greenery. Put my Lost Lagoon on here again. And you know what? I think that looks pretty good. I might do... Yeah, that looks fine. I was going to have a little one hanging over here, but I think that's going to be okay. Could even do that. There we go. So then we have our nice little field. You could actually make these a little darker if you want them to be darker. That just looks like we've got a nice little field of flowers. So I am done with this. Oh, no, wait a minute. I want to hurry up and do the inside. So this is another 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece. I bring that flower back in. Now, if you want to make a field here, you definitely can. I wasn't going to do that in the video because that's going to take too long. So I'm just going to put one in the bottom left corner. And this time I'm remembering it's a landscape card. There you go. A lot of times when I'm doing a live, I end up forgetting the way I did my card and I stamp it in the wrong place. I remembered this time. Okay, now I am done. Yes, I am. With the stamping on this one. So start putting this together. Get this out of the way. Now this is a piece of crushed curry that is 4 1/4 by 3. And now once I get this attached, nobody's going to know about my boo-boo back here. That still looks pretty with the light version, but I wanted it to be a little darker. Put that right here. And then I'm going to take a piece of the Lost Lagoon ribbon again. This is another 6-inch piece. Grab my silicone mat here. I'm going to put some adhesive on each end again. Oops, don't want it to twist. And this is going to go right here. So I'm kind of centering this white area here. I'm kind of putting the ribbon right there in the center. There we go. And then I'm going to grab this. We've already got the DSP on there. Actually, I want to fold my card base. This is a 5.5 by 8.5 crushed curry. Get those corners lined up. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now I will put adhesive on this. And make sure the fold is on top. We'll just put this right here in the middle. And then this I'm going to put on just with regular adhesive. I'm going to be popping up the greeting. This will go right here in the middle. So actually, I could have just gone around the perimeter of this side and been just fine. I'd forgotten that part. So there we go. And you know what? I can bring this up a little bit. That looks really far away. I think I went back too much. There we go. Get my comments back up. There we go. So now we've got this. We've got this put together already. So I'm going to turn this over, get some dimensionals on here. Now, since it's going to be going around the ribbon, I want to put it on the top and the bottom. So that would be these. I'm making sure I have turn it over right. The ribbon is kind of going to go in between these dimensionals, and there's really no reason to put anything here because the ribbon is going to raise it up just a little bit, and plus, sometimes adhesive does not stay on ribbon very well, so I just want to make sure I've got adhesive that's going to be for where it goes on the cardstock. Take the backings off there. Stand up so I can make sure I'm getting it right there in the corner. Don't put it on upside down like I almost did. And this will just go right there. Okay, so we're almost done with the front. Now I'm going to grab, oh, you know what? Let's put the inside in. I'm always afraid I'm going to lose the inside. It's a big piece, I know, but I am so good at losing things because I cover them up. And this will go right here. And like I said, if you get this card kit, or if you want to make this card with the stuff you have on hand, you can definitely make a field of flowers there if you want to. That would look really pretty. Now I'll grab the Iridescent Pastel Gems again. This time I'm going to use the ones that they say they're balmy blue, but like I said, they look just fine with the Lost Lagoon color. I am going to grab a big one and put it right here on the side, on one end of the ribbon, and another one on this end of the ribbon, like so. And I thought this needed a little something, that little space, because since I think the U is kind of over. You could use a big one or a little one. I decided to use a little one. So this time I didn't do a triangle. I just put it where I thought they needed to be. So there is card number 2. Hope you like that one. I wanted to make sure I used that little flower, and that's what I came up with. Now I'm ready for like I said, I really do think my first and second cards are my favorite. So that's kind of a tie here. This is a totally different look. You know, these two are a little brighter looking with the colors. This is going to be more of a pastel looking one. The card base is going to be petal pink. Oh, see if I get these out. There we go. And I'm only using one little, oh, thanks, Anne. I'm only using one little piece of the DSP. This is a 3/4 by 5 1/4. Isn't that pretty? It's the one with the leaves on it. But you don't have to have a big piece of DSP for it to look good on your card. So put that there. I'm going to go ahead and do the inside of the card. We're going to mix it up a little bit, do the inside of the card first. So this is another 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of basic white. There'll only 2 stamps I haven't used. Well, I take that back. The images, only 2. This flower here, and then, oh, the big leaf. And we're going to use those here in this card. So I'm going to take my petal pink. And this time I wanted a lighter version of this. I didn't want the petal pink to here. Let me show you how bright. Actually, it doesn't show it very well. But I wanted a stamped off version. I'm going to stamp this here. I just wanted a real pale flower there, okay? It actually looks darker, and I'm okay with overlapping. In person, it actually looks darker than what it looks like on the screen. There we go. I just wanted that a nice little border. Boy, you can barely see that. That's frustrating. But it looks really pretty in person, I promise. Then I'm going to grab the same size, another piece of basic white, another 4 by 5 1/4. This is going to be the front of my card. Actually, I'm going to do it like this because it's just easy. Well, no, I'm going to do it this way. Going to stamp off again because, like I said, I just wanted a faint image of this. So I'm going to do this. And I'm only going to stamp it along the edge here. And I'm okay if it's, I'm still kind of doing that triangle thing, but I'm okay if it's more of a border or a straight line. I'm okay with that. So that's all I'm going to do with that. I just wanted to do a little bit different. That might have gone too far over. Let's see here. I might have to do that over again. Where'd my paper go? Nope, it's going to be covered up. We're good. See, I just wanted to have like a little border here. I first was going to do it all white, but I really liked having just a little bit of a border right there. I thought it looked, so I kind of made my own DSP right there. So let's go ahead and grab this. Like I said, this is a 3/4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. Go ahead and get that on there. I love it when the DSP has bright colors and soft colors, because you can go with so many different, totally different looks to your cards. So there we go. We've got that on there. Now I'm going to grab this again and bring in that, my favorite one, stamp in the set. I do need to clean it though. So let me do that real quick, because I'm going to be using different colors this time. These are going to be soft colors. I'm still going to use Lost Lagoon for the leaves on this one. There's going to be another color I'm going to use for leaves that you probably, well, some of you probably used it before, but it's not a color you normally would go for. You would use, I mean, for leaves. So I'm going to grab, let's see, petal pink, because that's the color I'm going to do my flowers this time. Get some ink on there. Now, one thing, whenever you use really light colors, I usually go over it a few times, make sure it's good and wet, because petal pink, it is really hard to tell if you've got the right amount of ink on there. That looks pretty good. It looks pretty wet to me. Grab my Lost Lagoon again. Yeah, there it is. Make sure I get the right dauber. Get it all inked up. Okay. Bring in a piece of white. This is a 2 1/4 by 3 3/4 inch piece. I'm going to ankle it some. The bottom of the stem is not going to be on the cardstock, and that is actually what I'm going for. I'm fine with that. Ankle it like so. Hold it down a few seconds, and we've got that pretty flower. Now, I wanted to put that leaf stamp behind it, just to fill it in a little bit. So you can have a different look if you want a little more greenery on here. I'm actually going to use Pool Party. It's lighter than the Lost Lagoon. If I use the Lost Lagoon, I guess I could stamp off, but you can't see these leaves here when you put this in the background. So I decided to go with a lighter color altogether. Now I'm going to kind of ankle it like so. And I went back and forth. If you make this card later, this actually will lighten up as it dries, I promise. I'm looking at my original and it's so much lighter than this. But there's definitely different colors there. I could also stamp to add some more leaves, but I think I'm going to stick with that one. But I would do it without re-inking. That way we've got some leaves back behind there. this will lighten up. I'll show you my original here in a minute. So there we've got that. Oh, we've got one more thing. Let me grab that. Oh, I actually used Lost Lagoon. Where did I put the ink? Oh, there we go. And I'm going to make this a happy birthday. Like I said, all 3 greetings that I use will work on all of these pieces that I cut out for the greetings. There we go. So we've got the happy birthday. Oh, by the way, this is where did I write it down? 1.5 by 3/4 inch. And then a piece of Pool Party that's 1 5/8 and 7/8 of an inch. I just wanted a really narrow border. I didn't want it as wide as I normally do. So that's why I use that different kind of size. So I'll turn this over. Put this right in the middle. Now you could, if you make these cards later, if you want to do Pool Party instead of Lost Lagoon, that's fine. I thought the darker Lost Lagoon would look a little better, would show up a little better actually. So this one I said, I can't remember if I told you the size. This one was a 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then this piece of Pool Party is 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. So I just went up and, oh, I don't want to turn that over. But I just went up 1/8 of an inch on each side so I could get that narrow border like I did on my happy birthday. Put this here. And I don't know if you can tell. Let me bring this up. There's a little bit of the Lost Lagoon on the bottom of the flower. I like that. I think it looks just fine. It kind of looks like there might be a little bit of a leaf or something where the flower popped out, the bud still showing. So I thought that looks just fine. So if that happens to you, don't worry about it. It still looks good. Okay, that is all the stamping. So we can start putting this together. We are going to get done early tonight, guys. I knew these cards would go fast, but I think they're going faster than I thought they would. Here's the petal pink. That is 5.5 by 8.5, like usual. Get those corners lined up. And I'm going to grab this one. This one I actually didn't use any ribbon on. So I thought it looked really good without it. Put this right here in the middle. And I'm going to pop this one up. Oh, hi, Carmel from Texas. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, you've been here before. Thanks. I love the colors in this DSP. It is so pretty. I can't take credit for the colors I picked out. It was all on the paper. I love it when Stampin' Up! Does the work for me. Because I don't know about you. Sometimes I struggle with color combos. And I've been stamping for over 20 years. You think I'm gotten better at it, but I still struggle with it sometimes. So it's nice not to have to think them up. So I'm going to go ahead and put one in the middle, just so it doesn't collapse there in the middle. Okay, where did I? There we go. It's so funny. It happens every week. When I'm on the 3rd card, I've got so much stuff. It's not as bad this time since I don't have the die cutting machine over here. But I almost always cover everything up by the end. It's hard to find things sometimes. Okay, now you could put this in the middle, but I kind of liked it over a little bit. When I was originally going to put that DSP in the back, I was going to have it more in the center here, but I kind of liked it over to the side. I thought that was a neat look. This would be a pretty wedding card, wouldn't it? I just thought of that. Oh, hi, Carol from South Carolina. I'm glad you're here. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, for those of you who just came on, when I do dimensionals, I only do 1 layer with dimensionals. This is technically going to be the same layer. Now, I don't want to put a dimensional on here because if I do that, this one is going to be down and this side is going to be up. So it's going to be kind of like a little slide. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I turn this over so the left side is still the left side. I'm just going to put a little bit. Oh, this is going to be hard. I'm using my left hand, but now I'm just going to put regular seal on that end. And then, actually, it's probably easier, put the dimensional on the side you need it for. Then you can turn this around any which way because the dimensional's on the right side. So the side that has adhesive is going to go here because this one's already popped up. Since this is down below, it still needs the dimensional. So I'll put the happy birthday about right here. I'm going to lay it down, make sure, yeah, that looks good. Then push it down. And let's go ahead and put the inside in. Oh, That's okay. You know what? I want to give this to somebody, so I'm going to do it over again. My little sponge dauber here decided to turn over and put a nice little big blotch on there. Boy, it definitely looks a lot darker than that in person. It looks terrible. So I'm going to hurry up and do this one more time. Where'd my paper go? Because I need to stamp off. This will just take a minute. Sorry about that. I like to give my cards away sometimes for thank you cards. And don't want to give that away. That looked awful. That this happens really fast. So there. For those of you that might have come in late, that's how I did the inside. Okay. Now keep that sponge dauber away from it and we'll be good. I'll put this on the inside of the card. I am so glad Petal Pink didn't go away. I love this color. It's actually one of the colors in my blog. I like it so much. There we go. So there is the inside of the card. You can barely, oh, I wish those flowers were showing up better. Oh, thanks, Anne. So there we go. Oh, thanks, Carol. I'm glad you're liking the cards. It's my pleasure. Oh, thanks, Margaret. I'm glad you're liking all of them, too. So we've got that real pale flower, but it looks, I do promise it shows up a lot better. I'm trying to see if I can get it in the light. Well, you know what? There, that shows a little better, doesn't it? I think the lights are a little too bright. That kind of shows a little bit better. It's a really neat border. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the gems and we will be done. Oh, there they are. Now, I've used the Calypso Coral on the first card, the Balmy Blue that looks good with Lost Lagoon, and these are the gold ones. The neat thing, I think the reason the Balmy Blue still look good on the Lost Lagoon is because the iridescent, and iridescent things always have a few more colors inside of it. I think that's why it works so good. Because these gold ones, to me, once I put them on here, they actually look like they're petal pink instead of gold. So they kind of take on, if they have a couple of the colors of something else, they kind of take on that look instead of the actual color that they're intended for. So I'm going to grab a big gold one. I think I'm going to put it right about here. And I'm going to do a couple small ones. Now this one, you could easily add more if you wanted to, but I'm going to stick with my normal 3. Because I could definitely see maybe putting a couple more over here. So there is the last card. But see, doesn't that kind of look petal pink? Hopefully you can kind of, yeah, if I do that one that way, that looks to me petal pink. If I get it in light just right. And then with the Lost Lagoon one, same thing. Because I don't think that looks like Balmy Blue anymore when it's with a Lost Lagoon. And of course, Calypso Coral, that's what I wanted that one to be. So those are all the cards. I have a feeling I will be making more cards with this set. I just love it. Like I said, I'm a sucker for flowers. I'm a sucker for the watercolor look. So I definitely, when I saw this in the catalog, I knew I was going to have to get it. And I knew it'd be a really good one for a card class at home. So that's why I did that this week. And let's see. We've got one. No, it'll be June. That's right. Because I promised in May I would make sure I use brand new stamp sets each week. I have a feeling June's probably going to be well, maybe not every single Thursday. I might end up bringing one of the older annual catalog ones in. It depends on how many I own. There's so many I want to get. I just can't afford to get all those. Oh, thanks, Carol. I'm glad you liked them. Oh, thanks, Anne. I'm glad you guys are liking them a lot. And those of you that are watching on Facebook, I am so sorry my tablet messed up so I couldn't see your comments. I promise I will come back and comment and reply back to your comments. Hopefully I'll get that working tomorrow. I think I'll just have to uninstall the app and put it back in and it'll probably work fine. So I'm learning some things as I do these. I'm not a big techie, but I can't believe all the technical stuff I know now. But a lot of times you just have to turn it on and turn it back off. Turn it off and turn it back on again. Uninstall it, reinstall it, and it works just fine. And I don't understand why, but I just do it. If it works, I'm going to do it. So I hope you enjoyed today's class. Don't forget that you can get the card kits for free. I won't go over all that again. I did that a couple minutes ago. But if you want to find out how to get the card kits to make 2 each of these cards, let me show you the cards one more time. Just click on the link I've got down below for the card class at home. It actually says my current host code offer. So that's you just click on that and you'll get all the information on how you can get these card kits free. and a chance to get the full pack of the embellishments I used free too. Okay, that is it. I hope you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. I keep forgetting. May went so fast, I have to keep reminding myself it's Memorial Day. And here, I live about a half an hour from Indianapolis. So if any of you know anything about racing, you know what this weekend is. It's Indy 500. So bad me, I've lived here all my life and keep forgetting it. We've got the Indy 500 this Sunday. We don't go to it, but we'll be listening to it on the radio. That's one thing. In Indianapolis, you live too close, so you only get to listen to the race online. I mean, listen to the race online. You only get to listen to it on the radio. Like at 7 o'clock they've probably been doing this for a long time. When I was a kid, you only got to listen to it on the radio, and that was it. Now, like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, ABC will rebroadcast it so those in Indiana can watch it, even though the race is over. So those of you that don't live in Indiana, you probably didn't realize that when that happened. Okay, make sure I didn't miss all the. Oh yeah, thanks, Ann. Yeah, we'll have a good time. It's supposed to be gorgeous. We haven't had any rain for a little over a week. Hope I didn't just jinx us. But we had so much rain there for a while. We're good not having rain for a week. So it's supposed to be a beautiful weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. So, like I said, I'll see you next weekend. It'll be June 1st, and it'll be at 7:30 Eastern Time again, just like this week. And if you want to see any of my other videos, if you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click on that little bell icon and select all. That way YouTube will notify you every time I do a video, so that way you won't miss anything. And it'll notify you when I'm going to do a live, too, so that way you don't miss that. Okay. Bye, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Love doing these every week with you guys.